Welcome to Module 2 of the Focus Assist Talent Training, where we'll be discussing job order writing and the EEO protected classes, or Equal Employment Opportunity. You'll see listed here is an outline document of the Equal Employment Opportunity classes, and I'm not going to go into all of this because a lot of it has links to other websites, other presentations, so I do encourage you to pull this up. It will be under the team of experts as well, listed as EEO protected classes. And you can go through and click on the different links to learn more about each of these. But I will cover some of the highlights in this training because it is very important that our employers are following the proper EEO to make sure that they are hiring equal employment opportunities. And you'll see here, the original was back in the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which started with race or color, national origin, sex, and religion. Additional protected classes were added over the years to protect other classes: pregnancy discrimination, equal pay, age discrimination, Americans with disabilities. Then there were additional sections added: civil rights, rehabilitation, and Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act. Each of these is a link to more information about each of them. Now here's some more specifics on some of the legal issues that could show up in a job posting. For example, minimum age. You can only do so if it's required for insurance purposes, licensing requirements, legal requirements of the job, basically. You can never set a maximum age, except with very few exceptions. Some federal and local government agencies do have a maximum age, but otherwise it would be considered age discrimination. And again, the minimum age of up to 39 can be requested if it's a legal requirement of the job. You can't simply ask for a minimum age for other reasons. Sex discrimination. You cannot discriminate based on sex, so they cannot ask for a specific gender. So you'll have to see here that that would be discriminating. So we do want to ask an employer, if they are asking for a specific gender, to instead ask for what the job description or what the job duties are, and to put in there so that somebody with that experience would obtain that job. And it wouldn't matter which gender they are as long as they can do the job. So what are the requirements? What's the weight of objects to be lifted? Is there assistance? Are you required to lift overhead? So we want to explain to the employer that you list all of the job requirements, but you have to be able to interview anyone who meets those requirements, male or female. So don't list gender on a job post. Along the same lines, you can't use gender-specific job titles. For example, foreman, mailman, waiter, waitress. Instead, you want to use something that's neutral, such as server, postal worker, etc. And you can usually find those online if you can't come up with one yourself. Additionally, you can't ask for non-smokers only, but you can explain a workplace may be a non-smoking environment. So that someone who smokes could still apply to the job, but they would be asked to smoke elsewhere, usually off the property. Along the same lines, height should not be a requirement. Additionally, weight, you'll see down here. You want to ask the employer, why are you asking for a minimum or maximum height or weight? So for example, if they need to fit in small spaces, or if they have to climb ladders to get to certain objects that may have a weight limit on those. Or have to use, like for example, a bucket truck that has a weight limit on it. Those are things you could put in there that the job requires Those have to be legitimate job requirements. You cannot simply ask for someone of a certain height or weight unless it's related to their job duties. Same thing with right and left-handed. Some item, they actually can request that somebody be a specific because it requires dexterity with a certain hand. So that is something that would be, again, job related. So it's not discriminatory. It's more that the job just requires that skill set. And it is necessary for their safety and to efficiently perform the job. So you could put that information in the job post and not specifically say that you must be right-handed, must be left-handed, just that you must be able to perform those duties using that hand. And again, the majority of these, it's a requirement that they're necessary to perform the job effectively and safely. You want to stay away from asking specific characteristics of a worker, and instead you want to point the employer towards job duties, putting things in there that the job seeker would have, or that the potential applicant would have to do at the new job, as opposed to what qualities or characteristics that particular applicant might have. And you'll see here in this document, we also have the EEOC contact information. These are the regional offices, the closest ones to us. If someone feels they've been discriminated against by an employer, you can direct them to either of these locations, or also to the EEOC website, which you'll see listed here, and they can find another location if they choose. And it also has their office hours.